we're looking at tariffs, what's the minimum tariff rate difference that would make me, a company, want to redesign my supply chain? Because there's a lot of work in that. This is just a very, very interesting chart. And the concept is there that now with structural modeling, we can actually understand where we truly break even with our situation. Changes in the transit time have a huge impact on the decision to redesign your supply chain because it introduces volatility. There's higher amplitudes that you have to deal with. When you have these oscillations, it's a longer time to recover. You essentially have created this bullwhip effect, and this impacts everyone, and obviously it impacts you in the supply chain. But the second big point is to now know we can actually calculate some minimum tariff rate differences that warrant or make it worthwhile, makes the juice worth the squeeze of redesigning our supply chain. The key thing is tariff rate is not the only variable to look at. Operationally, there are all these other considerations to make to see if it's worthwhile. We only picked a couple, but this opens the door to show what's possible.
The moral of our story is using structural simulation, which, remember, is really relationship-based. We can provide some guidance in terms of if, when, and how regarding tariffs, all right? We feel we have a methodology to help you make a tariff decision regarding, do I stay or do I go?
Build on what Greg said earlier. Trust is the invisible infrastructure that accelerates decisions, reduces friction, and amplifies collaboration across every node of a system. Trust is speed. Speed is directly correlated with trust. So if you were to have a heat map of what is the trust in your network up and down your supply chain, you could probably get a pretty good pulse of how fast your network is able to respond to the VUCA world.
As Jim mentioned, we think it's going to be the catalyst for the next couple of years within supply chain to improve supply chain and improve the efficacy and performance. Without trustworthy supply chain transparency, all models are blind. Supply chain transparency reduces surprises because surprises make tariffs more costly. Our mantra: structural modeling plus supply chain transparency to us equals actionable game plans. Start with SEM blocks like we talked about. As you can see, 60% of the companies are revamping their supply chain. That comes from Deloitte and from Bain. When you attempt to get out of the crawl and move into the walk, you want to scale. We think trust is going to be very, very important. Maybe real-time tariff modeling when you want to go scale, and then future state would look like something we call chain site AQ, which is an end-to-end supply chain risk and resiliency tool.